Food stamps. Let's talk about it. There's a lot of food. So, this is what I decided to get into today. Oh, baby. All right, now to be honest with you guys, the reason for today's video is because there's two other channels out there, other YouTubers, that are pretty similar to the type of content that I make. Zacharios and Jack Morgan. Both studs, both legends, love their content, and I saw both of them post videos around the food stamps topic, industry, whatever you want to call it. And I haven't really ever even thought to look into this, I'll be honest with you. It's just not something that's on my radar, I guess. And I watched some of their videos and I was shocked about some of the stuff I saw. And then I started digging a little bit more into TikTok when I know a certain topic I wanted to talk about on my videos. We're going to get into it a little bit today. And we're going to kind of see what's going on with this whole food stamp situation, because it's crazy. It is. It's pretty crazy.
I know you guys saw what Trump said about food stamps and all the government assistance, Section 8, and it's about time. And I'm not trying to bash on anyone that is on Section 8 or food stamps, because that's you, do your thing. But so many people milk it. Like, there's so many people that could actually use the help and they can't because they work too much or whatever. They make too much. But how is that fair when you're literally just sitting home, not working, and you're getting all these benefits? Like, that's just not fair. And don't get me wrong, because I've been on food stamps before. And obviously I'm not on food stamps anymore. I was on it a couple years ago. My son's about 7, so I remember when he was born, I did qualify for WIC, food stamps and all that. But Section 8 and food stamps and all those benefits are not made to, like, for you to stay on them forever. Like, I saw a video on a woman that said she was on them since she was 19 and she's in her 30s. Like, girl, what do you mean? Like, go get a job and go provide for your 6 kids. Like, how are you going to be on food stamps and rely on the government for, like, your entire life? You know what I mean?
So TikTok is full of this content. I mean, I went down a rabbit hole, and I usually have like 5 to 6 different videos I kind of like to watch on these my YouTube videos. I have like 8 or 9. I kept saving them. It's pretty crazy also to see the like division or like the difference of opinions, right? Because obviously everyone has an opinion on topics. If it's just up to you if you just decide to talk about it or not. But I mean, this is and the views too. The views that these people are getting on all these different TikToks I was watching is crazy. So this is something's hitting at home from people all across the nation, on both sides.
How did I miss this? The government wants to make it that you cannot buy junk food with your food stamp. La! The hefties will raise hell. The roly-poly-oly's gonna roll. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself on this, and y'all tell me what you think. House Bill 279. They want this everywhere. Make you unable to buy junk on your stamp card. 1, energy drinks. Lord, how Earl gonna make it. 2, cookies, candy bars, ice cream, cakes and pies. Lord. They taking Carl Wayne's Christmas tree cakes. Tater chips. Not Tatiana's tater chips. Lord. And soft drink. Not to pop. What's Patricia Gale gonna do if she can't buy the pop? She already standing in line for 4 hours to get 47 carton. Turn around and sell it for twice the price. She can buy her cigarettes. What's she gonna do now? What y'all think about this? I got thoughts. Do you agree with the government telling people what they can and can't buy? It's on taxpayer dime. Should they have free reign? Is this a step into making America healthy again? Maha. Little fact for you. 1 in 2 Americans either has diabetes or at risk for diabetes. Last recorded in 2022, $27 billion was paid for with stamps to buy junk food. Do you like this idea? Or do you totally hate it and think it's government overreach? I'll wait.
Hey, I told you we're getting into it today. Holy, I'm telling you, TikTok is filled with this type of content and like people's opinions on the whole food stamp situation. So apparently, again, I've just kind of been out of this space, I guess, but apparently Trump either passed a bill or is working on changing some things where now if you don't meet certain stipulations that you have to be working a certain amount of hours to be able to apply for EBT or food stamps. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. Now, I'll be first one to say this. Like, yes, food stamps, EBT, there are people out there who need to utilize it. They need the help. They're truly on disability. They can't work. Maybe, mentally incapable to hold a job. There are cases out there like that where people do need assistance from the government. Absolutely. 100%. But also, when you have the assistance from the government, it's the people that abuse the system is what makes it look bad, right? So when you're out there and you're buying potato chips and ice cream and crab legs and steak dinners on EBT, yikes. Buying 6 Snickers bars and Reese's cups doesn't look too good. It really doesn't. Because you gotta think, like, that it's a luxury item, right? I mean, for me, like a guy like me, like if I can't afford all my groceries, the first thing I'm gonna put back is the luxury items, the ice cream or the Snickers bars. And I'm gonna fill my cart more with the protein, veggies, fruits, and the food that you need to eat. And like, man, this is a touchy subject. But like WIC, I remember whenever I used to help out a lot of moms with their WIC when I was a young high school kid working at the local grocery store. They had certain items that they were approved for to purchase with their WIC. And I always kind of wondered why food stamps wasn't like that, to where, why is it not where there's certain items that are only available to purchase with food stamps? Because if you're kind of given the money, I don't think maybe you should be able to go out and buy whatever you want with it. You don't think you should be able to go buy all the Snickers, Reese's, and just all this crazy luxurious food when you're given the money for free. I don't know. I know there's people out there who would disagree with me on that, but that's my stance on that. I don't think that's how it should really work. But again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect that. But let's just get into this a little more.
I just seen that Trump is making a change with food stamps. So I think it's requirements, but I think you have to work a minimum of a certain amount of hours in order to get food stamps. And I love that. I'm not going to lie. It'd be a lot of people living off government assistance, literally never working a job, stacking all their personal bread, and literally living off the government their whole lives. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I go to work every day faithfully, no matter if I was in school, high school, college, and no matter, I always had a job. And the only time I was able to get food stamps was when I was in college. And when I didn't have a job for like 2 months, like when I first moved back from college. That was the only time I was ever eligible for food stamps. And barely when I was in college, barely made it. So I feel like this is good. The people who are actually working, putting in the work, putting in the effort, that just need a little bit of boost, just a little bit of help with groceries. Like, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for us. I'm saying us, including me, because yes, need that. Versus people who actually can get up and go through. I'm not even talking about people's grandparents who, you know what I mean, they can't physically get up. They need it. But people who literally can go get up and go work and go make it for themselves, they just choose not to. Like, taking advantage completely. So yes, I'm excited. Hopefully I can get me some. Okay,
so I have a genuine question for you guys out there. For you viewers who are watching this, I personally agree with a lot what she was saying, right? Like, if you're choosing to not work and choosing to let the government kind of just take care of you, but you are fully capable of holding a job, I do think that is probably not the best decision to make.
Okay, y'all just mad because I get 3 canned food stamps. So what? I get all kind of snacks.
Maybe I am mad because 3K in food stamps and housing when you don't got a job. And then there's people that are literally have 2 jobs and they can barely pay their rent. And if they try to apply for food stamps, they get nothing or $25, little to nothing. And they're actually trying to make money on their own and not just relying on government assistance. That's where the inequality in this system comes to play. And it's not because of you necessarily, because I mean, you just applied and they gave it to you. It's the government. The way their setup is crazy. So I guess you could say, yeah, I am mad. Maybe get a job. At least be a content creator or something. My gosh.
Hey, like, I'll say this, like, if you're out there putting in your time, right? Like you're trying to get by. You're trying to make ends meet. and you need a little extra help on the side here to feed your family, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's when we abuse the system is when there's a problem. It's when you're relying on that and you don't want to get up and you get all these luxury items and food. And like, I want to reiterate here in this video that, like, yes, there are people who need food stamps that can't work. I'm not making a blanket statement that says, like, if everyone out there who's not working shouldn't have food stamps. No, it's not the case. I'm saying if you're an able-bodied person who can hold a job and you want to keep your EBT, your food stamps, like, and you have to work, like, it's okay, so be it. Go get a job and you can still receive your assistance. At least you're showing that you're putting in some effort, right? Putting in something for the freebies.
So I just got back home from a meeting with my DHS caseworker, I guess you would call it, an appointment. I've never had to do this. It was a in-person appointment to go over my benefits, what I'm receiving, my income. It was kind of like a review, but since I've been on welfare, I've been getting assistance for so long, they had to go over everything with me. I am having to, it's this work program to where if you are not working, but you are receiving benefits, whether it's food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, they are now requiring you to do this work program for 40 hours minimum, more than a full-time job. So even though I am on disability and I am not able to go get a full-time physical job, they are requiring me to do this work program, which is pretty much, I might as well go out and get a job. So they're making us do this 40-hour-a-week work program to get us to go get a job, and then once we have a job and have income, we're not eligible for the benefits anymore. That's what they're doing to us. So they are screwing us like they always do. So if you are getting assistance, this is going to be happening to you. It's going to be across America. So thank you, government, once again.
All right, so I don't know if that's entirely correct. Again, I haven't done enough research to say yes or no on that, but like, I think what the change is like, if you go get a job, you can keep your assistance. Obviously, there are income limits on that as well and stuff, but that's the way I look at it. Now, the other thing that you see a lot with this kind of stuff is they say they're on they're disabled or whatever, and they can't hold a physical job. Like, there's desk jobs, right? I mean, there are a lot of jobs out there where you can literally sit at a desk the entire day. No physical labor whatsoever. I mean, my job is one of, like, I do that. No, I'm not at a desk all day. I'm out meeting people and walking around and stuff and have meetings and lunches because I'm in a sales role, kind of. But, like, I don't do physical labor at my job. So, like, there are ways that you can work and not have to be physically, putting in effort on a physical basis for your job. There are plenty desk jobs out there and office jobs and even remote jobs to work from home that you can do.
Listen, if you have food stamps that my tax dollars are paying for, good. I'm glad. Because guess what? I've been that mom. I've been that mom that needed food stamps to feed my kids. I've been that mom that rationed out money that I got on the 4th of every month to make sure that me and my kids were fed for the whole month. I've been the mom that needed that help. And luckily, I've been blessed in this life now to where I don't need that help anymore. But let me just tell you, I saw a video on here a couple days ago, and the lady started the video with, "It's EBT day." And she goes to Walmart and she shows everything that she puts in the cart. She buys snacks for her babies, she buys formula, she buys stuff for dinners. She does buy some sweets. And people were coming for her neck in the comments. "Oh, glad my tax dollars could buy you candy. You didn't even buy food, you bought junk. Way to clear all the formula off the shelf." Y'all, be so for real. In the world we live in, be grateful that you have the means to pay the tax dollars that helps someone else and you don't need that help yourself. And you might want to humble yourself because your situation could change very quickly. And you could be the next one looking forward to EBT day so that you can buy some groceries for yourself and your kids. So in conclusion, stop being a judgmental prick, be grateful for what you have, and stop looking down on others that may not have as much as you. And be grateful that your tax dollars are helping put food in a child's mouth. I said what I said.
She makes great points. You know, I'm in the same boat for the most part as what she's saying. Like, I do feel grateful that I'm in a position where I don't need to rely on EBT and stuff like that. But you never know what could happen. I mean, right? That's why I kind of preach on this channel, like how we should handle our finances to prepare ourselves to never have to, you know, worry about going back to that point. But listen, life happens. Crazy stuff happens. And there are times in life, maybe a significant other passes away and then the mom wasn't working and now she's struggling. Like, yeah, she needs some help. The poor woman needs some help. Absolutely. So I fall in like this in-between line when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, yes, there are situations where genuinely people need assistance from the government, and that is okay to have. It's the side where it's being abused, right? That's the side I look at and I'm like, that's where things are need to be fixed. I don't want EBT and food stamps to go away. And sure, like, you know, I mentioned, this is why I put this clip in here, because I mentioned talking about like the luxury items probably shouldn't be included on EBT. And maybe there are healthy snacks that can be included on EBT for kids. Because like kids love snacks, I get it, right? Like, hey, me, if I got to pay a little extra in taxes and a mom that's struggling can get a little healthier version of a snack to include with her EBT purchases, so be it. Let the kids have the snacks, right? I mean, it's for the instances where people are leaps and bounds and throwing just tons of candy and junk in their carts. That's where I can see where people get a little irritated, I guess. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.
Y'all, I spent $4,500 worth of food stamps all week. I just want to say thank you for all the tax-paying payers and workers. Thank you, because without y'all, I couldn't have spent this much in groceries. Today, I think I spent my last $300 left on $4,500 worth of food stamps for the week. All I do is sit down and eat and feed my kids all day and don't work and don't pay bills. I depend on the government to pay all my bills because I'm that lazy. If y'all don't go to work, then how I'm gonna feed my kids? I depend on the government. They pay my rent, they pay my bills, they pay my food, they pay for everything. They pay for hygiene products. I don't know what I'll do without the taxpayers. Big Daddy government pays for my medical insurance too. I made this short video just to let y'all know that I appreciate that I live off of y'all. And thank you for feeding all 50 million of my kids. And I keep having kids just to get food stamps.
It's gotta be a joke, right? Right? I'm pretty sure that one was a joke. I hope. I hope it is.
Mayor just announced that the city will no longer issue vouchers to migrants to pay for food, ending a controversial program that had repeatedly come under attack by conservatives and others.
But now its absence may raise even more questions. The so-called Immediate Response Cards pilot program was designed to help feed migrant families who'd found themselves in New York with no way to afford food. The one-year contract provided what the city described as culturally relevant food to 2,600 migrant families, allowing them to basically buy what they wanted. A family of four with two kids under 5 got about $350 per week to cover food in a program the city said would actually save taxpayers millions a year. It also reduced food waste. For more than a year, the city was groaning under the weight of more than 200,000 asylum seekers. Officials say the migrant population has actually reduced lately. In fact, a massive shelter on Roosevelt Island is in the process of closing. In the meantime, Mayor Adams spoke on the phone yesterday with President-elect Donald Trump, who had vowed during his campaign to mass deport migrants.
So it says the migrant population is declining because we have stopped giving them free money. That kind of makes sense. Now, of the videos that I watched, Jack Morgan, most beautiful hair I've ever seen on YouTube, by the way, he made a great point. He saw a video kind of similar to this one that he was reacting to, and he made a point that says, imagine if I walked into a different country, and, are they going to just hand me out some food? No. Nowhere else in the world, especially as an American, am I going to walk into a different country and get, you know, a few $100s to go just spend on groceries. There's no way. So, like, whenever you stop providing that, people tend to stop coming over because the handouts aren't there. I don't know. I mean, that one kind of makes sense. Yeah, guys, I mean, there's a lot of difference of opinions when it comes to the subject. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't super aware of how intense the opinions were on this subject. So I will be very curious to see what the comment section looks like from today's video. See you guys in the next one.